talking about the mayor of New York City, which could be a mayor coming your way. Independent estimate is $9 billion a year for universal child care. Guess what he said it was? Going to be $5 to $6 billion a year. So it's 40% more than he thought.
The key word here, folks, is estimate.
The free buses, people are getting on the bus and they're not paying because they think it started already. The MTA can't afford not to charge. Independent estimate, $1.1 billion. It would bankrupt the system. Don't expect the free buses.
It would be a boondoggle anyway. It would just be an absolute unmitigated nightmare. Systems are created, right? Capitalism built wealth. It built systems. And socialism, communism, it's a parasite. It's a parasite that has to exist on top of capitalism.
He's got to fail for people to realize this. City-run grocery store, $70 million. He's going to start about 5. They're going to be epic fails. That's my prediction.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So Zohran Mamdani, the mayor up there in New York, is now facing a new brutal reality as his socialist policies, they're now collapsing. Because for one, they're costing way too much. And two, the residents of New York, they're now revolting against Zohran Mamdani and his socialist policies, even folks that voted for Zohran Mamdani. And that's not the only thing we're going to be covering today, because AOC did an interview where she had a Kamala-like moment where she struggled to answer basic questions. And we also have another Democrat, a prominent Democrat, who got booed in public. But let us start with this video of Zohran Mamdani being sued by New York City residents, even folks that voted for him over this new pied-à-terre tax. Watch this.
Hey, John. So Mayor Zohran Mamdani touted this new pied-à-terre tax on expensive second homes in New York City as proof that he was delivering on that campaign pledge to tax the rich. But there's a new lawsuit asking a judge to step in, calling the tax rollout a, quote, debacle. The new pied-à-terre tax targets certain high-value properties that are not an owner's primary residence. The Mamdani administration says it's designed to help close the city's budget gap and have wealthier New Yorkers contribute more towards public services. The city initially released a list of nearly 1 million properties, later clarifying that only about 17,000 of them could ultimately be on the hook for the tax. The lawsuit claims this process created widespread confusion, and 3 homeowners are now suing, saying their properties were wrongly flagged. Their attorney wants the judge to pause the tax rollout and force the city to redo the process.
So clearly things aren't really going so well for Zohran Mamdani, because on the campaign trail and since he's been in office, he's made a lot of promises. Free childcare, free bus rides, free everything, free grocery stores. And what he initially estimated those things to cost is going to cost a lot more. And the question is, how will Zohran Mamdani pay for all these things? And to make matters worse for the socialist mayor, we now have residents in New York City, people that voted for him, now suing him because of how he rolled out this new pied-à-terre tax. And here we have one of those supporters of Mamdani, a podcaster who realized that Zohran Mamdani doxed him on the internet with the rollout of this new pied-à-terre tax. Watch this.
And I've been doxed.
You've been doxed? What? Tell me.
So I don't know if you've heard, but Mayor Mamdani has decided to release a list of the 950,000 residences with addresses and names that might be eligible for his pied-à-terre tax. I came out in favor of this tax. This is the definition. He's taken a legitimate source of tax revenue and he's turning it into a wanted poster. And the question I would have is, other than trying to identify and imply these people have done something wrong, and then 18 months after a healthcare CEO was executed in the street and then published the list, what is the upside here? Why is he doing this?
I don't understand the mind of a liberal, because all you have to do is look outside to countries like Cuba, China, Russia to understand how a communist function, because I don't know what they were expecting when they voted for a communist socialist like Zohran Mamdani, as if somehow they would not be affected by those ridiculous policies.
The interesting thing is that many of these people are Mamdani supporters who are just objecting we shouldn't be on the list, which is itself almost comical. It's these are people who thought they were with the mob. But the problem with being with a Marxist mob is standing in front of them and saying, I'm one of the good blood-sucking capitalist or privileged elite. You know, it really doesn't help much to stop the direction of that mob.
Clearly, these policies aren't working out. These socialist policies. Clearly, the folks that voted for and supported Zoran Mamdani, they're now having buyer's remorse. And here we have fellow Democrat colleague Andrew Cuomo torching Zoran Mamdani and his socialist policies. Watch this.
7 months in, how would you score it for him so far?
Well, look, here's why the socialists fail. They can't produce anything they promise, and none of their platform is viable. So Mamdani says, you're going to get free buses. Were you on a free bus? You're going to get free child care. Did you get free child care? None of it is real. Free food, government-run grocery stores, free college, free everything. Everything's free, Bill. It's not real. And he cannot produce it. And he has not produced it.
That was Andrew Cuomo, the former governor of New York. And you know there is something wrong when you have Andrew Cuomo sounding like a sane conservative person. Because Andrew Cuomo, he's not conservative by any metric. And now let us move on to AOC, because she had a Kamala-like moment, because she was asked some questions in an interview. And let me tell you, she said a whole bunch of stuff that did not make any sense at all. For instance, here's this video where she was asked, what is the difference between communism and socialism? And the answer she gave is just ridiculous.
What, in your mind, is the difference between socialism and communism?
I think, to me, the fundamental differences, there's many.
Yeah.
One prevailing one is democracy. And I believe that democratic socialists are fundamentally pro-democracy. And we believe in the ballot box. We believe in respecting the outcomes of elections.
Okay, let us challenge this for a second, because AOC is saying that the DSA, which she's a part of, the Democrat Socialist of America, that they believe in democracy, elections, and all these different things. But here we have one of the leaders of the DSA saying how they feel about democratic institutions like the Senate, the presidency, the Supreme Court, and all these different things. Watch this.
I'm going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform, and I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
So clearly, if you want to get rid of the presidency, which is the executive branch, you want to get rid of the Senate, which is a part of the legislative branch of government, and you want to get rid of the Supreme Court, which is a part of the judicial branch. How can you say that the DSA or the socialists, therefore democracy? Because these are the three branches of government that allows the country to function how it functions. This is how the founding fathers envisioned this country operating. And here we have another video of AOC confirming that she's a part of the DSA, the Democratic Socialist of America. And then she tried to downplay it, and it backfired spectacularly. Watch this.
Are you still a member of Democratic Socialists of America?
Of the New York City chapter.
The New York City chapter, not the national?
No.
And what's the difference?
So every DSA chapter is formed locally.
Yeah.
And so the New York City DSA chapter, those are folks that you know. It's kind of like your local union chapter.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So AOC's answer made zero sense at all. And here's why. It's like you traveling overseas. You see someone, you ask them, are you from America? Are you from the United States of America? They look at you and they tell you, no, they're from Florida. While it might be true that they're from Florida, guess what? They're still from the United States of America. So AOC saying that she's from a chapter in New York City, then guess what? She's still a part of the DSA that wants to essentially dismantle our government. And now let us move on to this prominent Democrat who got booed at an event, Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat governor of Virginia. I don't understand why all these Democrats, they've been getting booed a lot more recently. And if you know the reason, just let me know in the comments or what you think the reason is. And here we have Senator Amy Klobuchar getting booed at an event where she was lying about the border. Watch this.
Amy. I've long believed and supported funding for Order at the Border, and I have worked well with law enforcement in Minnesota for years. But what Quiet.
And that brings us to the end of this video. Please let me know what you think in the comment section below in regards to what Zohran Mamdani is doing up there in New York City and how his policies are failing. Also, please consider liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.